All right, this song is an oldie but a goodie. Lord Have Mercy. You've probably heard it from Michael W. Smith. Steve Merkel song. This song has a very fun arpeggiated piano part. Seems extremely complex, and as you get into it, it can be pretty complex. But for the most part, it's still pretty basic chords. So it's going to start, we're going to play this one in G. I believe he plays it in B flat. I think that's the standard that Michael W. Smith does most songs in. Typically, you'll have a lot of people, especially guitarists, etc., that'll do G capo 3 or A capo 1. It's going to be the same concept if you take it up to B flat, but it happens to sit better for me in G. So we're gonna go ahead and go through it in G. Same, like I said, same concepts apply. Basically, it's going to be, the intro is going to be the chorus, and it kind of mirrors what the melody does. We're going to start with an A minor chord with the right hand. We're second inversion. So instead of having the E up at the top, we're going to have the E down bottom. And this is the position we're going to use for pretty much every chord, is kind of having our hand set in that C octave. So we're going to start with an A minor chord, which is then going to go to a D over F sharp minor. We're going to keep the 7th in there. And then it goes to a G for sus. We're going to keep it in that inversion and walk it down to the G. Then for the next one, which is going to be a G over B, we're going to stretch that pinky up to hit that. So it puts it back into that G, first inversion with that on under the bottom. So we're doubling up that D. That's walking the melody down. G over C. G. It goes from G to the B to a D to an E minor. Technically the melody's down here, not up here, but to keep that hand integrity, to quickly turn it around, I keep that in root position. So again, A minor, D over F sharp, G for sus to a G, G over B, G over C, D, E minor. Okay? So once you have that chord change down, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it into an arpeggiated pattern, which kind of fills out the melody line. So it goes. And then I'll add in, walk back up to the A minor. And then as you get it up to tempo, it's going to sound like this. Okay, so this does have a lot of rubato in it, so feel free, as long as you're keeping that tempo at a solid pulse inside, feel free to stretch the rhythm and shrink the rhythm, especially within that pattern. So don't feel completely tied down. Just make sure that you have that pulse beating in the back. So it's going to end up being. Verses are not nearly as complex. You can go to straight chords. if you want, you can add a little bit of flourish to the arpeggios. I'll usually do a mix of the two depending on the feel of the song. At certain points, I'll simplify it when I want to really thin down that melody line, thin down the background, thin down the texture of it. But then when I really want to build it, I'll add a... back to the chorus. And that's it. It's a beautiful song, very, very fluid, complex beat. But once you get it under your fingers, it kind of flows because your hand kind of stays in that same position the whole time.